So a few years back, I started getting into calisthenics a little bit. There's this dude on YouTube, his YouTube channel is That's Good Money. He's this dude that goes around New York City and films dudes doing calisthenics in different ways. And the one challenge that got me was this challenge that at the time I felt was just out of my reach. I felt it was accessible eventually, but it was just out of my reach. And that was 20 push-ups, 20 air squats on the minute for 10 straight minutes, equaling 200 of each over the course of 10 minutes. So on the minute, I'm doing 20 push-ups and then followed by 20 air squats, or whichever order you prefer, and then doing that straight. So eventually I started doing 25 and 25. And then eventually I decided to take this whole operation to like my hikes. And that's when things changed again, because it was a hike, which was already, mildly difficult, like some hills, dodging rocks and roots and stuff like that, and just paying attention to every step. But what I started to do is I started doing air squats every 0.5 miles on a 2.5 mile hike. Well, eventually that turned into a 5 mile hike. And then eventually that turned into sets of 50 every half mile. And that was quite intense. And then I broke out of that mold and started doing sets of 100. So I'll warm up with like a set of 25, then I'll do a set of 50, then I'll do a set right after that of 150 in a row. And it just started to be a thing that I do on a normal basis. Now, not trying to be talking about how sexy my legs are, because that's super corny, but what I am going to say is that my legs are currently far more jacked than they used to be when I would do traditional moves, barbell squats and other things that you would do at a gym. My legs were all right and pretty strong, but something really changed when I started implementing these calisthenics type air squat type moves. If you go on That's Good Money and watch what these guys do with no weights, they just use their body, they all look like bodybuilders. So my theory started to be blown about needing to lift weights, and I was like, maybe I don't have to, but maybe I still just love to lift weights too. And I think at the end of the day, it's really just about putting resistance on your muscles in whichever way you prefer. And sometimes I like a barbell on my back and I like to do heavy squats, but sometimes I just want to go out there and rep it out and do this. And at the end of these sets, at the end of the reps, my legs are so pumped, it's insane. And so that same feeling can be applied to other body parts, with or without weights, however you prefer. But for the case of this video, these sets and breaking past that plateau, when you start with 5 or 10, then you move to 25, then you move to 50, then you move to 100. Listen, the next thing you know, you could just camp out in the woods for 3 days and just do squats all day and night. I'm just kidding, but this is a really great workout, really great exercise. So hopefully you can use this as a challenge to yourself to get up and over a plateau that you need to break.